You a bitch. Nah, fuck that. You a bitch. Don't run up on me like that no more. You a fucking bitch for that. Straight up.
Tyler, what's up? Tommy O'Deed again, bothering you from Boston. I just wanted to give you the latest drama between Kenny Capozzi and Big D. So, the court date happened, the court case got thrown out, the judge obviously realized it was silly, then Big D posted the post-fight video of Kenny bleeding, which didn't do D any favors because he looked like a straight bitch because Kenny walked at him like he was gonna punch him, and D like skedaddled back like a little girl. And then, yeah, he said a lot of horrible stuff about Kenny. He shit on his dead mother, his gay son, all sorts of terrible stuff. So, yeah, I don't know, man. This is the time to piece all this together and put it out. This will be a monumental Fight Stories.
And we're live. Welcome to a very special episode of Fight Stories. I'm Tyler Morrison. I'm here with John Moses.
His honorable John Moses.
Honorable John Moses. And court today is presiding, okay?
Yes. Welcome
may
to
the
very
people
first
rise.
Episode. Yeah, welcome to the very first episode of Fight Stories Fight Court.
Fight Court is in session. I mean, this... Listen, yeah, we were talking about this before we came on, but it's, we have a lot of the episodes that we do that, it's people telling stories about fights in the past tense, fights that they've been in.
My freshest fight was 17 years ago, when I was like 2 years sober. You know what I mean? Like most of these things are in the rear view.
Yeah.
For all of us,
Yeah, we're washed.
I should say most. Yeah, exactly. There's things to reminisce. Most of us, there's a few people on that we've interviewed that are still out there ringing bells.
Of course.
But we should also say we've recorded episodes with people, and then we've talked to somebody that they've fought, in a later on episode, and then there's been the person calls back and was like, "That's bullshit." We had an NHL guy call back and he was pretty pissed off at you.
Oh, he was coming at me like a missile in the fucking direct messages on X, formerly known as Twitter. And it was like writing me paragraphs telling me that, I'm an asshole for airing it. And you know what? Like, we have guests on, and when two guys fight, sometimes they have a difference of how that went, a difference of opinion. And time, of course, also, these tales get grander sometimes, but it's not up to us.
Or just misremembered.
Yeah, it's not up to us to tell a guy, "Oh, that's bullshit," to call him
that
on his
sounds fishy. I mean, if it sounds like, if it either sounds ridiculous and not like fight worthy, if you're telling us about the time you whacked somebody in kindergarten, we might say that's goofy.
Yeah, but or if it's very far fetched. But if this is a guy that's been in, who's known to have been in a lot of real altercations, it's pretty hard for us to tell.
With the exception of knowing that people exaggerate for comedic effect, we're not taking anybody to task on a story. You know what I mean? Like, we're not gonna sit there and be like, buddy, that's not what I heard. That doesn't sound reasonable. Like, that's just not what this is. This isn't a fucking lie detector show.
Yeah, that's it, right? Like, you come on, we have to expect that you're telling us the truth, or like, as close to it as possible.
Right.
So when
exaggerated for effect, maybe, for comedic effect, maybe.
So when the other guy comes back and he's saying like that never fucking happened, blah, blah, blah. Well, my only recourse is, well, listen, the floor is open for you to come back on the show. He'd been a guest before. So you come back on the show and you can tell your side of this and set the record straight. You have open invitation to come on and tell people that what he said, you believe is bullshit. And he did that. He didn't like that.
Right. He was basically like, stay the fuck out of Flin Flon or wherever he was from.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, turn your face up in my town.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, so it didn't end warm on that one. But in terms of, actual drama around the podcast, there hasn't been much, considering, we are dealing with a lot of highly volatile individuals.
Right. There's also been some like popping off in comments, like on YouTube videos, like, oh yeah, why don't you tell them about the time you ran out of there with your tail tucked, like stuff like that.
Yeah,
but that's
the guys,
typical online shit.
Guys who've got their asses kicked too.
Yeah.
They don't like it on the comments, but those aren't like guys that are going to be guests of the podcast. This is
right.
These were two guys that were prominent enough in terms of in hockey to be guests on the pod. And then so fast forward to today, we have a very.
If you want to know who it is, we'll tell you in Patreon. We're not trying to relive that one.
No, it's not you know what I mean. It's neither here nor there. But it's more just the point being that a lot of these are stories from things that have happened in the past. What we have happening today is much different. This is This is happening in real time. Right. And John, you can kind of set the stage.
So we, last year Tyler and I were in Boston for the Boston Comedy Festival recording some of that, and the only good thing that came out of that was the episode with Big D.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Big D was very funny. We thought it was very funny that night, at the festival, and we thought it was very funny when he came into the podcast. We were
absolutely hilarious. One of my favorite episodes of Fight Stories. Really, like it has all the right ingredients. It has good fight stories. It's a good hang, and it's comedians being funny.
It's comedians being funny, but also, and this is the part that a lot of people glaze over and miss out, even if they might be supreme fighters: humility.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Big D, like, oh, I got my ass kicked. So, but what happened was one of those stories was Big D was talking about getting in a fight outside of a show, and one of his buddies was involved, and his buddy was who I think he named him in the pod. He called Kenny Capozzi.
Yeah, right? Kenny Capozzi. Yep,
Capozzi. So he said, Kenny was involved, but what happened was Kenny heard that episode.
So, what do you want to hear? So lead me in the direction about it. We were like, when you sent the message, you're like, oh man, you guys are talking about fight stories. Like, man, I've been in a fight every year for 34 years. 34 years. I think the last fight I got into was at Antain. I think they call it Antain. I used to run an open mic over there with the Gutter Boys. So we was I used to run this room at Antain. It's right next to Coogan's downtown. And Coogan's is known for their dollar drafts. Antain is right next door. Coogan's is a little bit more classier. Antain is less than that. Sure. And it was fucking nuts. So we ran an open mic there, and we would run shows sometimes. So we had a show going on, and this guy and his girlfriend came in, I guess from the Celtics game. He was amped up, he's chilling and shit. They banned Newports in the state of Massachusetts, which they banned menthol cigarettes in the state of Massachusetts. So if because the kids like it because it's minty? I guess I don't know. It was fucking stupid. They first did it in Somerville, and then they just did it in Mass. Period. Crazy. So in order to, if you got a pack of Newports, like you like a motherfucker on Rikers Island. You holding the key to the fucking city. Yeah, it's like green gold, baby. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in the bar. We all in there and shit, and the show's over. A guy walks in with his girl or whatever. He's talking and shit. He's like, "Oh, I know you comedian." I was like, "Yeah, that's what's up." And I had a fresh pack of Newports, so I pull out the Newport. I'm about to go outside to smoke. He was like, "Yeah, man, can I get one of those?" I just kept it pushing, cause I don't know you. I'm not finna just hand you a cigarette. I don't give a fuck where I am. If I'm in the city, you might hand out a cigarette, but after you do that a couple times, somebody's gonna try to take advantage. Nobody's gonna rape me. That's what I equate it to. Like, you trying to rape my pockets. You're not a cigarette sharer. Right. Cigarettes is $13, $14. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck out of here. And then on the black market, motherfuckers gonna charge you $15. Fuck out of here. Yeah. So
The dude asked me for a cigarette. I go outside. I guess he felt some type of way. He comes outside. My boys come outside. We're smoking cigarettes. They're smoking American Spirits. It takes 15 fucking minutes for an American Spirit. I light up my shit. He comes out. He asks me again for a cigarette. I said, my man, I don't got a cigarette for you. He was like, well, fuck you. I was like, it's cool. Him and his girl get in the car. As he's getting in the car door, I help him close the door. And as he's pulling off, I help him on his way.
Give him a little boot.
Give him a little boot to the fucking to the driver's side door. He pulls over the car and instantly jumps out, and I'm with the shits. But unfortunately, I was not thinking. I had on a fucking coat, a hoodie, my backpack strapped tight.
Yeah.
And now this dude's out and it's ready to go. I can't take the fucking backpack off.
You're not freewheeling.
Yeah. So, and I'm built like the Lorax. So, I'm like heavy up top. My legs are skinny as fuck. So now I got the added weight from the book bag, you know what I'm saying, on top of me. So now I'm extra top heavy.
Equilibrium's all fucked up.
All fucked up. Yeah. So, the dude rushes me. As soon as he rushes me, I catch him. And then we're tussling. We fall down. Everything in my backpack falls out. Everything in my pockets falls out. My ass is out and shit. And I'm scrambling. Now my boys is like, what the fuck are you doing? Stop it.
Yeah.
It's my boy Kenny Capozzi. He's an Italian dude from East Boston. And he sounds like a bitch. He's just like, stop it. Guys, stop. I thought it was the dude's girl.
Yeah.
So she comes out of so I tumble down. My shit is everywhere. I get up. Me and him are rumbling. His glasses fall off. He's like dodging me, won't let me like get close. So I stomp on his glasses. I was like, fuck you, nigga. You ain't gonna see shit. Stomp on this motherfucker.
I'm 100% doing that move.
My brother did that to a guy.
You have to. It's like, fuck you. Like,
any weakness, any fucking way to
anything to fuck with you. Like,
anything to fuck with you.
You gonna have a long ride home, motherfucker.
Right.
Stomp on the fucking glasses. His girl starts walking over, so I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna knock this bitch out. So she comes close to me. I swing, miss, spin around. Now I'm on the fucking ground.
Oh, no.
The guy tries to hit me or whatever. He falls on the ground. We're both on the fucking ground. Yeah. Now I hear my boy going, oh, my God, stop it. You're doing all of this over a cigarette? Is this what you want?
Yeah.
So I'm getting up trying to gather my shit. My boy has my cigarettes and tosses this motherfucker 4 cigarettes.
No.
4 or 5,
That's
I think.
betrayal.
I was steamed. I was pissed.
That's betrayal.
Fucking heated. So I'm fighting.
Kenny did that?
Kenny does this shit.
Fucking
and I was like,
Kenny.
so I'm like, yo.
Kenny.
So I get up.
What do you got to say for yourself?
I get up. The dude comes back or whatever. He leaves. I go over. I was like, man, y'all some bitch ass niggas. Y'all ain't even trying to help me out. If this was Roxbury, we would have jumped this motherfucker. What the fuck was you doing? And why was you screaming like a bitch?
Yeah.
He goes, I'm sorry, but I don't want to see violence. And so the night ends and I lose my Newports, half of my pack of Newports, and I wouldn't say that was the L.
What did you lose them to? Like they got squished?
No, he gave them away.
He gave your cigarettes
That's what I'm saying.
away.
Kenny gave my
I
fucking
thought he gave you the native. He was giving his own native spirits.
He gave my Newports away.
Kenny.
Is this what
that
you
was the
wanted?
bell.
I said, are you fucking kidding me? I'm fighting out here for some fucking Newports, and you want to give this motherfucker what I'm fighting for?
Yeah.
Kenny's lucky he didn't catch a fade for that.
Oh, he almost did, but he was my ride home, so I couldn't. I couldn't fuck him up. But that was one experience just in comedy. You know what I mean? Like I haven't had too many like fights outside of outside of comedy. I've had a shit ton of fights.
Okay.
But this fight was just comedy related.
And this was just a couple of months ago because we released it in January. Kenny heard that episode, took offense to it, and then showed up at an audition and snuffed Big D. I mean, there's no other way to put it.
Yeah, he took a run at him. And when we talked to them, had that altercation had just happened, right?
Right, that had already happened, and Big D had showed the video. So what happened was, and they talk about it in this episode. And so we actually held this episode back because it was an open case. Like these guys were going to court for it.
There was charges involved.
Charges. Yeah. Kenny was, Big D went and filed charges, even though he whipped his ass. So, this episode is Kenny's side of what happened and why that went down the way it went down. And then we're going to talk a little bit about what happened since we recorded that episode 6 weeks ago, and we had to hold it because we didn't want it to be, to be used in a court of law one way or the other. Now, I do wonder. So apparently the charges were dropped last week. So I do wonder, was Fight Stories mentioned on the official record in a court of law?
Yeah,
I haven't asked anybody. I got to know.
Can we check that out? Is there a place we can search online?
I think we just got to hit them up and be like, yo, bro, who said my name? Who said Fight Stories? Yeah. Your Honor, the podcast, Fight Stories.
And the situation isn't so cut and dry either. There's definitely reasons why both sides are aggrieved parties, and I can empathize with both sides of it. And I like both.
I can
both
see
guys,
both guys. Yeah, we like both guys, and we're not just saying that because it's like, hey, we don't want to pick a side here, and we don't want to
totally pick a side.
Yeah, 100%. There's fault. There's plenty of fault and blame to go around for sure. There's things that that one guy did that was shitty, and things that the other guy did that was shitty. But you can see, like, when you get the whole picture,
we love it.
Like, we love it. We love it. And also, there is still an opportunity for restitution to be made. Okay. So this episode of Fight Stories is Kenny Capozzi and Tommy O'Deeds, and Tommy's the one that reached out to you. So So introduce that part.
Okay, so all of a sudden, like out of the blue, I don't know this guy, and I get a message on the Fight Stories. It would have been the Fight Stories Facebook page. It's basically just saying, "Hey, I was friends with Big D. I'm friends with
Kenny.
I'm friends with Kenny, and I want to let you know that some of the stuff Big D was saying was bullshit, and it's just like not fair that this podcast goes out and he doesn't get to say his side of say his piece." That's kind of the gist of what he said, and so I hit him up. I'm like, "Hey, do you want to come on the podcast, and talk about what happened? Like, we'd love to get your side of it. If someone's, and same thing that I told the NHL player, I said, like, if someone's come on and said something that you disagree with and you don't believe it's the truth, then the floor is open for you to come and say your side. That's all we can do with our platform is allow people to say their side of the story. So they were like, hell yeah, let's come on. And these, for the record, these are all stand-up comedians too, which is
right. All stand-up comedians, and they were buddies.
They used to all be friends. So that's the whole kind of background. But yeah, and then I thought they were all funny dudes on the pod. So there's no one's come on here and we were like, oh, that guy's a real fucking asshole. You know what I mean? Everyone was fighting dirty. Everyone's fighting dirty.
They're acting like a real gutterball crew.
You know what? They're acting like they should absolutely all be regulars on this podcast.
Heck yeah. Taking us on a tour of Boston through a dirty car window.
Yeah, shout out to the Boston comedy scene.
Yeah. So, all right. So here is Kenny Capozzi and Tommy O'Deeds' side of the story. We'll punch in afterward and sort of give you an update as to where things are now since that podcast episode was recorded. So here we go. A Fight Stories first. we have had rebuttals in the past, but it has just been via text message. And we were talking about that a little bit before. Never have we had somebody actually come on the podcast to sort of give their side of the story, set the record straight, or at least, tell their side of it. Our guest today, Kenny Capozzi. And Kenny and Tommy. So Kenny Capozzi, Tommy OD, thanks for coming on the show. We appreciate you having you guys on.
Yeah, that's such a talk show style intro. Kenny, welcome to the show.
I appreciate it. That's Kenny. That's Kenny. I'm Tommy, but yeah.
Yeah. We got a real couple of NA whites on today's episode of Fight Stories.
Yeah.
Non-applicable Italians.
Right. Irish, Italian, mutts. So.
Okay, so you guys hear this episode. What? Because that episode comes out like 2 months ago. And then what happened? You didn't hear the episode. I guess somebody told you about it.
Oh, I heard the episode. I didn't say anything. All right. Let me ask you guys a question. When you did the interview, right, and he told you the story, did you think me and him were friends?
We like the way I think the way he told us that you guys were buddies when it happened. I think that's all we knew.
Because I seem to think like, what, you hit your buddy? Like, I don't know if I misremembered. I actually went back to listen to the episode, but got busy. So,
well, you were friends at the time. It wasn't until post Fight Stories.
And none of us got hit. He got hit that night.
Yeah,
and I was there but he just made it seem like. To me, I felt like I was just some asshole that drove him to comedy and that I was trying to like not help him while this kid was trying to beat the shit out of him. That's how I felt when I heard the episode.
Right.
Yeah,
I was under the impression that you guys were buddies.
Yeah, at the time,
sure, you know what I mean? Because,
up until this incident with the podcast, let me just say this real quick. Had I heard the episode of Fight Stories with Big D and any of the discrepancies in the story, I would have said, you never would have heard from me, ever. I would have said, we all go on podcasts, tell stories. We all punch them up a little. That's what we do. We're comics. However, when he started shitting on Kenny and he was like, he talks, he sounds like a bitch and he's a girl. And he just made Kenny sound like a bitch, like a punk. And truth be told, Kenny was out there saving his ass because the kid that was beating the brakes off of Big D was about 140 pounds. You've met Big D. That's like two of those dudes is a Big D.
Yeah.
Right?
And that kid wasn't a $140, dude. He was like 6'2", made probably $180, $175. He was skinny.
Crazy, Kenny. He was little. Kenny, he was your size. I remember because I went on somewhat.
He was tall.
Okay, he was lanky. He was bone rack compared to Big D. But this kid, he had the heart of a fucking lion. At one point, he knew how to fight, dude. And the way it unfolded, this is what bothered me, is because we were hosting a show there, and this kid and his girlfriend were in the show. And I noticed them when I was doing my set. I noticed them like, audience, guy and a girl, they're attentive, they're laughing, they're engaged with the show. Great, what you hope for in an audience member, right? After the gig, we're out on the sidewalk just smoking. And like, Kenny tells it better this part. Kenny, pick it up from there. How did the cigarette
I don't
thing.
remember the people in the bar. I don't.
I do. I remember because the bartender told me.
But their car was parked directly in front of the bar. So I remember them either coming out of the bar or walking down the street. I don't recall, but they're going home. They're leaving. They're done for the night. They're going home. The girl walks to the passenger seat. The guy opens his car door. We're all standing directly in front of his car, right in front of the bar. And this is a bar where we had just gotten the room. This has just become our space. We're about 4 to 5 weeks maximum into using this space, right?
Right.
So the kid goes, to D, let me get a cigarette. And he's like,
No, he
nah,
held out a
you got
$5 bill. He said, "My man, can I get a cigarette?" He held out a $5 bill.
I don't remember him doing that.
I
but
remember
whatever.
that clearly. I
The
remember
kid
that clearly.
he's leaving. He goes, "Can I get a cigarette?" And he's like, "No." And he's like, "Can I get a cigarette?" And D's
Well,
like,
if he did do the $5 bill, that is a little more antagonizing.
Yeah,
but
D
basically
wouldn't
D
even
said,
look
"Go
back.
fuck yourself."
Or is
Yeah,
it fair?
without-
Is it more like I'm willing to pay for the cigarette? Or is
Well, that's
it,
what I'm saying. And
know?
D talked to this kid so disrespectfully that the kid felt he had to punch him. Like he
Right.
had to hit him. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you don't talk to a stranger like that.
Right.
Like, can I get a cigarette? No. Come on, dude, give me a cigarette. No, why don't you get the fuck out of here? And the kid was like, what? And he just fucking
Yeah.
started fucking hitting him, dude. Like, you don't
Yeah.
talk to people like that. So
Right.
the kid's
Especially
hitting
like
him.
a kid who the kid who was at the show. You know what I mean? It is like, in Big D's defense, it almost seemed like he didn't even look over his shoulder to see who it was. You know, he wouldn't even address him like he was big timing him. You know what I mean?
It was
And
like
I was
that.
just
And
like,
I also felt like if he was alone, I don't think he would have talked to the kid like that.
I have a question. I think
No.
it's legit.
no.
When Big D has this interaction with this kid, did Big D just rock the room? And he's coming off the stage when he's in the zone?
Hey, it's a good
No.
Okay. Because
This
if
is
I'm
like,
in the
no,
zone,
no. Yeah,
Well,
no.
no. Kenny. Big D, he doesn't bomb. You know what I mean? So, I mean,
didn't
on
say
tape,
bomb.
he must have done well.
But-
He must have done well. By that point,
I don't
he's
think
doing
this is
stand-up.
immediately after what he's saying. I don't think
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
like
yeah.
I know what you're saying. I know what
like-
you're saying. But we all had good
Like, I
sex
mean,
that
all
night.
he had
We
to
were
do
all
was say
riding high.
no.
Mhm.
Sorry, I don't got it. I don't have it. And he
Yeah.
really didn't. He really didn't. He had like 4 cigarettes in his pack, and I gave away 2. But that was at the end of the fucking story. That part he got right. That part he did get right. You know.
Right.
But it's like the kid's fucking, he just starts wailing on him, right? And D trips off the curb, falls into the gutter, and I'm fucking grabbing the kid. I don't hit the kid because I didn't feel like the kid was wrong. Like, you don't
Right.
talk to somebody like that.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Right.
You made him hit you. Like, you could have very easily been like, sorry, buddy, I can't help you. Keep it moving.
Right.
Not go fuck yourself like that.
it was a
Right.
situation that warranted a stoppage, but not an intervene where you have to now fight this guy. That's
Yes, that's
Yeah, I get it.
that's what I
Yeah,
thought.
I mean, yeah, like,
the
he wasn't
principle was
stopping
fine.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So I was stopping him. Like, and finally the kid gets off, gets in his car while he's driving away. That little attaboy that D said he gave the car. He fucking kicked the kid's quarter panel in. Like, I used to do body
Yeah,
work.
he
Like,
stomped
he kicked his quarter panel in, like $1,000 worth of damage. The kid fucking breaks the car. The girl's fucking yelling at him, right? And thinking he's gonna hop back out of the car, right? They end up just going, right? So now it's like, all right, everything's calmed down. Everything's calmed down. It's okay. There's no police here, nothing, whatever.
Count to
Standing
30.
outside smoking.
He spins the block, like the kids say. Kid comes right back around the block and gets out again. Now they're
so
going
now
at
they
it
start
again.
fighting in the middle of the street. And D's got
Right.
a book bag on. He's all fucked up. And I don't
Yeah.
know, like, what happens. The kid comes around. There's a point where, like, the kid's coming at me, and you could, like, he was, but I'm like, I'm not trying to fight this kid. I'm
No,
trying to
you
get
were
this
like
kid
you
to
were
go
just
home.
like trying to separate
I mean?
them. Yeah.
It's like trying to like stop and not have the police come. Not because, dude, like when the kid was hitting D in the first place, if I had hit him, there was like 6 people that was standing with us. Do you know what I mean? Like
Right.
that is like
Yeah.
So it's like now it's like one person hits them. Well, we're all gonna hit them. Do you know what I mean? It's like we don't want that.
Yeah.
This kid was just trying to fucking go home. We're trying to
Yeah,
fucking
but
keep
but
this
also
fucking
it's-
bar.
It's 6
Right.
comics. I said it's 6 comics. It's
Yeah,
not
all right,
6
John.
people.
You're right about that. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
And there's going to be
Sure.
some
Yeah, but
flailing.
at one point, like in the melee, like I'm in front of the security guys in front of me. Kenny's in the street. Big
They
D's in
did
the street.
nothing. I
When the kid
love the
comes back.
security guys did nothing. They were just like, let's
No,
shoot
the security guy. I started going to the street. The security kid, Mike, the army kid, he pulled me into the bar. And then I go to the window, and he's like, don't do it, because the shutters opened out onto the street. And I'm yelling, we're going to lose the fucking room. We're going to lose the room. And I'm like, the cops are going to come. Now Kenny's tangling with them. Big D's tangling with them. Our old engineer from our old podcast, the WEMF, was fucking tangling with him. I'm
I
like,
had no
3 on
idea who
1.
was there. I didn't.
And then I'm
trying to remember. This is so fucking long ago, right? And then Tommy's like, I'm like, did you hear the podcast? And he's like, I was fucking there that night. And I was like, thank God somebody was there.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I know.
And like I said,
So
and like I said,
you guys,
go ahead.
go ahead.
You never, like I said, if Big D did not shit on Kenny unnecessarily, you never would have heard from me. You never would have heard from me. I never would have reached out.
Were you guys? Hold on. 2 questions. Were you guys? You guys were like friends before this, right?
We were tight.
Like you hosted a podcast together? Is that correct?
Yeah. Like how on the podcast, like this dude, he like, do you like fucking snuff? He's like, fucking gutter boys. Like, we did that for like 2 years together. Like, I don't know what you were talking about. Like, you weren't one of us. Like, but you totally made it seem like I was just some asshole that drove you around. Like, you know what I mean? That's exactly how I felt when I heard that shit.
Yeah, that's worse.
Like we were the first people.
He didn't say shit about me, just kind of putting my name out there for no fucking reason other than so he could do his little fucking mimic of my voice, because that's all he got is fucking, you know what I mean? It's like,
he said you sound like a bitch.
That's it. Like, you got nothing else. You know what I mean? Which was lame, dude, because you're my friend. You're a fan.
Right.
What's up, fan?
Yeah.
Kid, we've been together like a lot. And then I hear you do this on some shit, dude. I'm
a
like,
lot.
what the fuck? I'm like, when I see this kid, I'm punching him in his fucking face. That's what I thought the first time I heard the fucking podcast. I was like, I'm going to go to his house.
That's my next question. So how did you hear the podcast? Like,
because he posted it.
Oh, and you just checked it out. Yeah.
And I checked it out, and I was like, this motherfucker. I was ready to drive to his house immediately after I heard that shit. And he lives in fucking Milton. My address is Brockton, dude, so I probably would have got arrested. And it's for Milton's like Milton Academy. It's very fucking snooty.
It's nice.
You know what I mean?
Wait, so Kenny, I'm breaking away for 1 second. Have you heard of Steve Dunn before?
Yeah. I met him. I don't know if he'd remember me. He didn't knock me out, but we did have some beers together, like at one of those dive bars that he's at. Like, my brother and my dad had a body shop right around the corner from one of those dive bars, and he was friends with some guy that, you know, like, be in a garage at night, everyone's drinking beers and shit. So he was there. Like, if you talk to him again, he might remember.
Is Steve Dunn? You know. And was Steve? Did he carry that like that reputation with him when you met him? Like, were you aware of who he was?
People were like, this is Stevie Dunn. You know what I mean? He's fucking, but he was like, he was just like a fun guy. You know what I mean? We're just shooting the shit, drinking beers, like, you know?
We love Steve Dunn.
He's got a dry sense of humor, and he sounds like he drank a glass of sand when he woke up in the morning.
No,
but he's a fun dude.
I don't even know if you would remember, but if you talked about the body shop around the corner from one of the dive, he might remember. You know, he probably wouldn't remember if he said my name.
It's so funny how all these Boston episodes are fucking going like this.
Oh, I know. It's like the multiverse.
It's very inbred.
Okay.
Very inbred here.
Okay, so I'm sorry. Where were you? You were saying you heard it. You know,
wanted to drive over to his house.
So I didn't say nothing to anybody, dude. I didn't say anything, and I was just like, "What?" In my head, when I see this kid, I'm gonna
on site.
Like, that's just on site. Like, I'm just.
So fast forward to, what was it? A couple weeks ago, they were both at a casting call at a titty bar.
I'm with my girl one night. This is like a month after listening to the podcast. I'm with my girl, and I go, "Hey, if I ever tell you to stay in the car, like, and I hand you my teeth, just fucking do that. Just do that. You don't ask any questions." And she goes, "What's going on?" I go, "Well, when I see Big D, I'm going to punch him right in his fucking face." And she goes, "Why? What happened?" And then I have her listen to the podcast. So then cut to fucking a month later, where we go to this fucking open audition thing, right? We walk in, and there's D. "Yo, what's up, fam?" Hey, and I'm like, fuck. And she's with me, dude. And I'm like, fuck, now I got to fucking hit this kid. But I was happy
you talk so much shit. You have to follow through with what you said because of what you.
I would have had to do it anyway. Even if I was alone, I would have had to do it. You know what I mean?
Did she
but
look
I was like,
at you?
No matter what happens.
Did she look at you and go, "Hand me your teeth"?
Yeah. I didn't even get a chance. I didn't even get a chance to do that. Like, I kept it by my mouth.
And my first question was, Kenny, were you drunk when you did this?
No, I was dead sober. It was the middle of the afternoon.
Podcast at that point. I hadn't heard the podcast yet, so I was like, "That's a little out of character for Kenny to go punch Big D in the mouth."
No one knew I had beef with him. I kept it in my head. You know, and he when I walked in with my chick, he's like, "Hey, what's up?" And I was just like, "This motherfucker." He's like, "What's the matter?" Da, da, da. And so I ignored him for like an hour because we're sitting there waiting for these fucking casting call people to fucking call us. It was at the Squire in Revere strip club, but it was like closed for the day, so it was like, you know, it was only
What
open.
was this casting call for?
Some movie about pressed pills, like some fucking local fucking.
You have to say Kenny
movie.
didn't get cast, you know.
Yeah, no, we say so. Finally, he knows something's wrong. You know what I mean? But eventually, like being there so long, he just starts talking, and I'm like, all right, I give him a little. We'll start talking, but I'm like, I'm still gonna hit him. You know what I mean? And he has no idea that I'm mad at him at all. Nothing. You know what I mean? And it's like, but that's how I felt when I listened to the episode. I felt like I got sucker punched. I was like, this kid just fucking suckered me. You know?
probably didn't even listen to the episode. Like, you know what I mean? Because we didn't. We just put it out.
Yeah, probably not even. Yeah, probably not even after.
It was a good episode. It was interesting. Like I said, had he not shit on Kenny, I would have been like, fine, whatever.
I did give his cigarettes away. Had I known that, I wouldn't have fucking did. I mean, because the kid was like,
you gave him
ready
one
to
cigarette,
leave.
Kenny. You gave him one cigarette.
I gave him 2 out of a pack of 4.
Okay, and that got rid of the kid. It snapped him out of his fist fighting trance. He got the cigarettes and he just got in his car and drove away. Now,
no, he was with his girl in the car. It was a fucking melee. I don't know how the cops didn't show up.
No. That's what finally made him get in the car, Kenny. You were like,
the worst part is some other asshole, like an onlooker, was driving by and he stops his car like, what's going on here? And it was just like, buddy, move your car. Could you because now the kid's behind him. He can't leave. Because there's other fucking guys in front of him. And I'm like, buddy, could you please move your car? And he's like, what? Then he's like, I'm like, move your car. And he gets out of his car. Now he's up in my face. And I'm like, dude, please just go back in your car. We're trying to calm the situation down. Like, it was like, I'm going to fight this fucking random fucking guy for no reason. Like, just because he's hammered, you know? It was a fucking shit show, dude. But
and then, like, Kenny could have very well gotten arrested in all this. We all could have. You know what I mean? Because at one point, like I said, if I was this security dude, like when I tried, I was like, I got to fucking help break it up. I was going to go out the window because the shutters were open and the kid might grab me. He's like, no, the cops are coming. They're definitely coming. And he's holding me and I'm like, we're going to lose the room. Yeah, company man, you know what I mean?
The room.
It was a great place. It was dollar drafts, a working class crowd just after work, you know what I mean? Just a shit
all
dive
the cocaine
bomb.
you could snort, you know?
They just, after COVID, they sold their fucking liquor license to some fucking
I was glad they went under because too much cocaine. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, oh, it's the 90s again, you know? So I was glad it went under.
All right, you guys are at this casting call.
Yeah.
So
I wait.
Chatting.
He goes into the fucking do his audition, and I'm like, I'm gonna go outside and smoke a cigarette. Wait for him to come outside. Then he comes outside, and he goes to like give me dap like we're boys, and I just suck at him right in his mouth. I go like maybe like 2 more shots, and he like tackled me, and fucking my head hit a wall, and I'm fucking bleeding on my forehead, and I'm all fucking. I was pretty fucked up, dude. I was pretty fucked up. I had all road rash all over me and shit. And then he's choking me out, dude. He's big. He's a big boy. You know what I mean? I'm fucking 5'7", $140. Fucking, you know what I mean? But he's got me.
You know what?
I
guarantee, just like he said on the pod. Like he said on the podcast.
He's like, you're going to stop now? And I'm like, never. Like some shit, dude.
Like he said on the podcast, if it's a tight space, he got you because he's big. He can just, and I've had big guys do that to me. They just run you into the wall.
Fight, like I'm not like that's the first time I ever sucker punched anybody in my life. Like I'll throw punches like if I have to, but I'm not like fucking a trained fighter. I'm a fucking comic. I'm a retard. You know what I mean?
Feelings were hurt. My feelings were hurt. My feelings were hurt for Kenny. Kenny's my brother, you know, and we were all good friends at one time. Like when D started comedy, me and Kenny and other old partner Sean Sorrow, we were the gutter boys. We had a podcast. We ran rooms, you know, Mike's shows. We were the first one. I was the first one to see D and go, when that kid gets comfortable, he's going to be a beast. I saw him a week later and he got comfortable and he's been good ever since, you know, like I know what he did to Kenny shit. You can't take it away from him. He's funny. He's good at stand up. I mean, you can't take that away from the kid.
They know.
I know. Yeah. And Tyler, when you called me a couple weeks ago to talk about this. This is the first thing I said. Disclaimer. I can't take that away from the kid. But it like
hilarious.
broke my heart to see somebody. Kenny is like, Kenny's aces. Like Kenny doesn't fuck anybody over. He
I
ain't a
wouldn't hit
shit
the kid
talk.
for no fucking reason. Do you know what I mean?
No,
And he was like, why? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like, go listen to the fucking podcast.
And you were like, Fight Stories podcast.
Yeah, I was like, that's a real story. Go tell that story. You know what I mean? Fucking tell that story, dude.
Well, there it is. He's got to have.
It was like I was like thought
feedback
about
on.
like calling you guys myself like before, because even that your John Moses shit came up in my fucking Facebook like 6 years ago at Nick's Comedy Stop with John Moses, and I was like, oh, this is a sign. I should probably reach out to these people but then I didn't want to be like I punched him just to get on the podcast. I was like, no,
Right.
We would like that even more.
You know?
You know whose idea it was to reach out to you was my daughter's mom. I came home. She came home from work, and I told her about it. She was like, "You should reach out to them right now." I was like, "I'm sending a voice message." And that night, I go see Kenny at the Rockwell Theater, and I tell him, he's like, "Kid, you're out of your mind." We're at the bar after a set. Phone rings. Number I don't know. I'm like, "This looks like Canada." Bingo! It was Tyler. So thanks for having us. This is your first ongoing saga, so you had D tell the story.
Yeah.
Now you have us on. Kenny got in a fight. Now you got to have, and I hope these two can reconcile, because this is like, D just needs to own it.
Just
What
like,
he
what
did
did
was
I say?
shitty.
It's like, go listen to it, dude. Like, let's go listen to the fucking thing. Like, if you felt like you did me right as a friend, like, then you're fucking crazy, dude. You're crazy.
If he was talking about some scram, that's different. But you guys, you know what I mean?
He goes, you should have came at me like a man. And I'm like, what? Tell you you hurt my feelings on a podcast? Like,
Right.
what was I
He
supposed
did
to
come
do?
at him like a man.
But I don't really like how you described the situation that night. I was like, no, I just
Right.
And
You guys
hit me
should go on
back, and it
Dr.
was fine,
Phil.
dude. I didn't give a fuck, dude. Then I get a summons in the mail a fucking week later, dude.
No.
Yeah. And I was like, so I call him, and he puts me to voicemail. I'm like, maybe it was like a CCTV something. Like the club, there was 100%. A thing, like, so like something fucking. No, I got the paperwork. It was like, he goes into the fucking place, dude, tells them what happened, and now I got to go to a magistrate to see if what I did was fucking criminal or not. Like, it's like, Kenny hit me with an open fist or with a closed fist over fucking something I said on a podcast. That's literally what the police report says.
Right.
It's nuts, dude. It's fucking nuts.
Okay.
Do we get to go to court? That's what I want to know.
Use
crazy.
I really
witnesses.
hope that we can sort of help facilitate you guys at least getting that shit squashed. Like, I don't know if you guys will be buddies again, but I mean, this shit shouldn't go to that.
Yeah, I mean, I got no ill will against the kid. I heard what I heard.
Not anymore.
I hit him. It's a fucking, it's over. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? I know who you are. I know like what you're about. You know what I mean? Whatever. I got no problem with you. You know what I mean?
Listen, here's the thing.
But if it does go to court, I just get the name of the podcast right, because I would really like it to be.
100%.
We need all the listeners we can get.
The judge goes home and he's listening. The prosecuting attorney. Listening to both episodes.
Dude, then on the fucking, we were supposed to be on the same fucking, the same preliminary round at the Rockwell Theater for the Boston Comedy Festival. We were on the same show. And then he wasn't all of a sudden. I was like, yeah, what the fuck happened to D in his spot? And he had switched. So he must have told fucking Jim and Helen, like, oh, I can't be on that show because fucking I got him right. It's just like, come on, what are we doing,
criminal investigation.
How mad
And
would
I
you
think
be,
that
though,
might have
Kenny?
had.
Kenny, how
Kenny
mad
didn't
would you
advance
be?
that night. That might have hurt him.
Kenny, how mad would you be if the judge ruled that you did have a voice like a bitch? Because
I talk and fucking fast forward, dude. You turn on the fucking Alvin and the Chipmunks, dude. They all sound like bitches. I can't fucking help it. Speed, man. It's speed.
No.
Speed kills.
Well, I remember listening to that story. First,
what happened there?
I hear everything.
Did I lose you guys?
No.
You're good.
Check.
We can hear you.
Okay, cool.
Oh, hold on. I hear something else. So hold on.
I got here in.
Oh.
Can you hear me, John?
Yeah, but can you hear the other shit that's playing?
Nope.
Oh shit. Hold on.
Must be on your end.
It is
alarm?
for sure.
Left
Okay, that's better.
a
All right,
porn tab open.
Fuck.
I was actually editing an episode of Fight Stories, and it was 2 fight stories in my ear at the same time.
Nice.
So,
Just Big D talking shit in the other ear.
Right?
Listen, I do seem to like. I remember hearing the Big D story and him like sort of describing you, and I don't remember. I'd have to go back and listen to the episode, but I did remember like he's your buddy. And then, and I also feel a little bit like, well, maybe you should have actually just said, "Yo, dude, what the fuck," instead of sucker shotting him. But now that has happened, I mean, you guys squared up, and I feel like it should end there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like.
Yeah, I don't want
think you should go to court.
Right out there. Like,
No,
I don't
but I
want
mean,
to
like,
kill him. I just
no,
want to
of course not. No, but it's like
I think that they've been
like you
close
said, you've
enough
never
over
hit
the
anybody
years
like
that their friendship can survive this. I do. Like if
Well,
I did that to Kenny
I'm
and
just
he
saying the
punched
court-
me, I'd be like, yeah, can we go back to being friends now? You know what I mean? Like
the court shit needs to go away. That's the whole
100%. 100%.
Who does
Is that
You know,
is that something that D can get dropped if he just says?
of course, just don't go to court. Just don't show up.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't. I've never. I have no violence on my record. It's all just drugs and theft.
Yeah.
Originally, I
What
was
else?
thinking maybe we should get these guys in a boxing ring with
was just gonna
Sandman
say
Steve
that.
Judge as one of the
I mean, I'm
Sandman
down
Steve
to
Dunn
box.
as a
He's a
judge.
little out of my weight class, but I'm down to do that. I don't care. Put on some headgear, get a ref in
It's
there,
like-
dude. That's fine.
Yeah, it's
I'll get
like the
bounced
old
around a little bit.
USC. All right, so
And everyone hugs it out and has a beer after, you know?
that's
Yeah,
right.
that's-
Maybe we can
100%.
do that, and we all get some content out of it.
Yeah, that's not bad.
100%,
Oh, the fucking freaking, he
100%.
pulled out his camera at the end too. Like, dude, he tagged me at the end, like after he had let me up and shit, and he was like leaving, and then he came over like everything was cool, and bam, he like tried to knock me out, dude, but it just gave me a little nothing like, and it was just like, all right,
So
dude.
was he, like, hit
It
you
was
for
like
the
you
gram?
insulted me after
Did he have
the
his-
fact, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, and then you go to the cops, dude. It's like, come on, dude. It's like that's crazy, because he was mad he didn't hit me. You know what I mean? Which was fine. Like I let him have
You were
it, know what
bleeding,
I mean?
though.
I was like, I get you, dude. But
This maniac still went into the audition with a bloody head, Kenny.
oh yeah, I went into
Oh,
the
you
the
didn't
shit,
even
dude.
audition yet?
After your audition
Yeah,
was
yeah.
after. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. My
Oh,
girl's like, go
man.
in there and fucking clean yourself up and go fucking sit down and do the thing. And then I went and I had a
Right.
good set at the comedy studio. I'll send you guys a
Oh,
pic.
man.
I got a picture of myself doing my set at the comedy studio that night, and
Oh,
I
yeah, we
looked
want
fucked
that.
up. You know, I was like, I got all fucking, and that's with
This
like,
guy went into that audition straight Daniel Day-Lewising it.
yeah,
Right?
dude. I was like, that's what I was like. I was like, I'm methamphetamine acting.
How mad would you be if Big D got the part?
Yeah, I mean, it was bullshit. The shit but that's just a whole different story. I thought it was gonna be like an open audition, like read, and it was just like, oh, do you
Yeah.
want to be like a cop, an addict, or I was like, I wouldn't even have showed up for this bullshit.
Yeah,
if I
it
didn't
was
know
like extra
fucking
shit.
something serious.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Yeah.
little did you know it was going to be the audition for this show.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah.
I
was
because
so-
I was gonna let it slide, dude. I was just like, fuck it, I'm not gonna get in touch with them. And shit. And then Tommy's like, no, fuck that shit, dude. I was there that night. This is bullshit. And I was like, dude, you're
Right.
not wrong. That's why I hit him. You know what I mean? I didn't hit him for no
Right.
fucking reason.
All right.
Yeah, I
all
got
right,
the
so
call.
Let's try and maybe we can help facilitate getting this thing.
Yeah, I mean, I like to not go to court.
squared
You know what I
away.
mean? It's
Yeah,
like
that
lose a
would be-
day's
No.
pay, some bullshit. As that.
Yeah. Listen again. I mean, I don't. You know. I also know what it's like to be mad after a fucking fight too, and still want to give it to somebody. So
This was a day later.
no. The sucker
What?
shot. He came up to you a day later and tried to hit you again.
Oh no, that was the same day. Which that's
Yeah.
why I got no fucking beef against
No,
that, dude.
that's what I mean. Like, listen to all of it. You know what I mean? Like, I could see myself in similar situations to all that shit. You know what I mean? You fucking running up on him not feeling like he got enough, but the cop shit's got to go. So maybe
Yeah,
we can
yeah,
help.
the
Maybe
cop
we can,
thing's
maybe
gotta
we can
go.
talk to Big D.
Yeah, that would be great,
and-
dude. I
and
appreciate
fucking
that,
figure
guys.
that out. I mean, listen, I'm not saying I can. It just would
Yeah,
just
yeah,
be nice if
I
we
know.
can make that happen.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah.
And then if, let me make a couple.
We got the
calls.
Canadians on the case.
Yeah. And then and then if you guys want to fucking slug it out in the ring, that could be both fucking hilarious.
I mean,
and a
I
good
can
way
give a
Yeah.
fuck less. I'll go.
be
We'll
buddies
put
again.
some headgear on and some boxing
Yeah.
gloves. Get a little ref in there to fucking stop it. I'm down, dude. What the fuck do I care?
Yeah,
They both gotta wear Speedos, though.
That'll be the main event for a live Fight Stories in Brockton.
Oh, that'd be great, dude.
I gotta hook up with I gotta hook up with Stevie first. I give you some pointers and shit, dude. You know what I mean?
They'll just tell you to bite a guy.
Have you guys ever been to Brockton?
Yeah.
No.
Have you ever been to Brockton?
I have. Yeah, I did. I
Oh,
did a
world
show
class
there.
shithole. Good old
Yeah, I
fashioned
did a show there 20
Massachusetts
years ago.
Milltown that went tits up. You know, that's
Like
what
the
it is.
woods.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a
Big
tough place. for sure.
sprawling textile mills that like turned into crack houses, you know. It was the place to be
Yeah.
in the 1920s, but like I said,
It's fucking
Milltown
not
that
a
went
bad
tits
place. It
up.
has such a bad reputation, dude.
No, where you
I
live,
grew
you
up
live in the
the
nice
city. I grew up
part.
at fucking Logan Airport. This place is like the woods to me. There's deer and
It
shit,
is,
dude.
it is.
There's fucking bunnies. It's a whole different fucking world. Sure, there's crack and murder, but it's few
Yeah,
fucks,
yeah. And that's just the
I
deer
used-
and the bunnies.
I used to yell at Kenny for letting his son play outside on his own. I'm like, kid, it's low. He's like,
You
yeah,
gotta
kid,
learn
you heard
somehow.
gunshots the other night. I'm like, dude, keep
All
him
right,
in.
so,
you
so
know?
Tommy,
What's
Tommy,
up?
do you have to move off of the Big D thing? Do you have any fight
Sure.
stories that you want to share on the podcast?
You know, I was thinking about this.
That's a no.
Okay, I'll give you. I have a good. It wasn't. I do
That's
not
a
look
no.
good in this story. Okay, I'll
Oh,
try
you
to be
better.
quick. So 10 years ago, right, I was at a really low point in life, right? Ran into an old buddy of mine, Gangsta Dave, right? And long story short, he showed me 2 pounds of Mexican super meth, right? And he was like, Tommy, I don't know who does this. I sell coke all day. Who does this? Boom. Slams a bag of like Mexican super meth on the table. And at that time in Boston, I was like, the only people that do this are gay people. He was like, do you know any? I said, I know one. Said, who? I said, Gay David. Said, how do you know Gay David? I said,
Yo, so there's
Said-
Gay David and this
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
Gangster
No.
Dave.
Yo,
and
that
Gay
was his
David?
name.
Are they
Gay
the
David.
same
You
guy?
gotta keep them fucking. You gotta know them somehow, right?
Yo,
Yeah, yeah.
Gangster Dave is this side and fucking Gay
Right.
David is
Gay
this
David over here, right?
When the
He
clock
never fuck
strikes
around and call
midnight.
Gay David Dave. He'd be like, my name is David, you know? So Gay David, he was like, how do you know this gay dude? I go, he was a counselor at the methadone clinic, right? Long story short, I had nowhere to live at the time. I was homeless. So by sundown, we went to Gay David's house, and it was just established. Tommy's going to live here. He's going to set up shop, and you guys are going to sell as much crystal meth as you possibly can. And that's what we did. Like, he like linked me up to like 5 of the major like meth dealers in Boston that were gay dudes, right? Easiest dudes to sell drugs to. Dude, I'd go to do a drug deal with them. To me, it was a drug deal. To these people, it was a fucking dinner party. Like, no bullshit, right? So eventually what happened is like some street kids came around and almost murdered Gay David. Like, it was fucking scary. So I was like, ugh, we need muscle. So I reached out to this lunatic, like a dude with like one of these hats. He literally looks like the fighting Irish guy, this big kid, Timmy, a couple of years older than me, growing up, right?
Can we get him on
So-
the pod?
He's dead. He just died. Gay David's
perfect,
dead
perfect.
too. Gay David just died too. It's sad.
Well, what
So-
about? I'm worried about. Wait. I'm worried about Gangster Dave not being dead, and then
He's
him
alive.
coming on
He's
this podcast looking for you.
no Gangsta Dave just got arrested with an AR-15, a kilo of cocaine, a bulletproof vest, police badges, a hand grenade, a 9mm. Like, he's gone. He's in prison. He's
Okay, you're
he'll
saying-
die there. He's done. He's
Everybody's
out.
dead
He's
in
out.
prison in this
Can
story.
I just interject real quick? They did just arrested my buddy's uncle on something just like that, and they said all those things, right? And then they go in a copy of Mein Kampf. It's just like, was that necessary?
Well,
Why did they add
that's
that?
gonna kill. That's gonna fuck him in court. That's
in
gonna
the
fuck him in
newspaper,
court.
he's like, what the fuck is going on right now?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah, and
I
now
need
it's
to
a
break
hate
your
crime.
shit. I had to
Go,
go.
Tommy, go, please.
So let me wrap this up real quick. So
No, don't be
Tim-
quick. Take your time. This is a good one.
okay, so Timmy, right? Timmy was a drug addict. So Gay David almost gets murdered at sunrise. I run in the other room. I throw my phone on the bed, a baseball bat, and a 9mm that another kid living there had. I'm looking at him like bat, gun, cell phone. And I'm like, I don't want to kill this guy. We'll all go to prison. So I picked up my phone, stopped going through Facebook. I'm like, lunatics. Who do I know that's a lunatic? Timmy Quill. Hit him up. Gone. He answers 2 seconds later. What's up, kid? I'm like, Timmy, I'm sending a cab. Where are you? You want to make money? Need a place to live? He's like, I'm on my way. Timmy comes, nearly murders the kid, gets him out of the house. Now Timmy is my goon. Like, he's with me 24/7. And rightfully so, because we had enough fucking money and drugs on us, like a lot. Like, I would have robbed me. My little gay partner buddy, not that kind of partner, but drug dealing partner, Gay David, not threatening. And, so this goes on for not that long till eventually I realize, like, we're going to prison forever. Middle of the night, I just leave. I leave. Gay David, I walk in his room. I drop the duffel bag with all the money, the drugs, the scale. I drop it on his belly. He opens his eyes. Oh, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm done. He goes, where are you going? I'm like, the hospital. And I walked from Malden Center to the Mass General, begged to get put into treatment. I was like 120 pounds, like staying up 5 days in a row. Rough time. So I get my life together. And then like a year later, on New-ish, a year later, I'm at a party, right, where I'm from in Medford. And there's all these old friends there. And like, oh, Tommy, you look so good, blah, 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 blah. Timmy comes walking in. Timmy still looks like Timmy, you know what I mean? And it ate away at him because he was a kid that was younger than me, right? And it ain't like I gave him orders, but he would get jealous because the guys that I was working for were like real gangsters. Like I'm not going to say names, but you could Google these dudes. And they, he could never go around them. And that bothered him. They were like, that kid's a hot box. Don't bring him around no matter what. And it bothered him. So here I am, like feeding him, clothing him, keeping a roof over his head. And then I dip and all that falls apart. So at this party on New Year's Eve, a year later, I'm sitting at a kitchen table and I sense him lurking around. And in like a lax moment, I just like looked this way. And Timmy, was one of the toughest human beings I ever knew, wound up from Cleveland and cranked me in the head.
You?
Oh,
Dude, that's what I wanted to do. I'm lucky I did it. I'd really be in trouble.
Hard. I'll tell you what, I'm not a bitch. I'll fight, but I'm not stupid. When Timmy hit me, right, I was like, wham. And I just popped up. And the whole house was like, whoa. And I was like, all right, Timmy, can we just go back to being friends? You know what I mean? Because
What'd he do?
To
hit you again?
He just left. People got in between us. And everyone was like, oh, Timmy, you're a little heavy-handed. That's Tommy. Everybody like, I'm a good kid. So,
Tommy, come on.
Yeah, come on, a little heavy-handed, Timmy. So, yeah, that was a fight story in which I did not do good. And I chose. You got to choose your fucking battles. It would be like if Mike Tyson hit you when you got up, like, let's go, dang. No, you're going to get your wind punched in.
Right? I mean, you can
Yeah,
no. I feel like that's a fair game.
So I'll end with this.
Oh, man.
Fast
This is an
forward
episode of Sucker Shots.
Right. Fast forward to about 4 years ago. This was my last actual fight. I'm not going to give you the background and the particulars, but it involved an old girlfriend, her new boyfriend. I was around them. He got flipped with me, and I'll be honest, he was like a wiry young kid that was all peppy and like just all stringy muscle, and he was like nutty. So he picked a fight with me in front of my daughter, who was like 4 at the time, right?
Oh,
So I just
bad situation.
Right? I went to him. I was like, I'll be back at 3 a.m. Don't get drunk and don't fall asleep. Came back at 3 a.m. with a dime on the dot, tap, 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 on the window. I'm like, send him out. And the kid came out, and I beat the piss out of him. Like, I was heavy-handed. But I was so heavy-handed because the last thing I was gonna do was let this wiry little fuck with long hair kick my ass, you know? Like getting sucked by Timmy Quill is enough to last a decade. You know what I mean? And I will say this about Timmy, right? I will say this. When Timmy hit me, he gave me everything he got. He had everything. But he gave me the palm. He didn't. That's where he drew the line. You know what I mean? There was like a shred of friendship in there. You know what I mean? And it was just like
it's because,
older.
And I think it's because he was hurt and felt abandoned the same way that Kenny.
100%. 100%.
Thank you, John.
100%. But I will say this about Timmy, right? It irked me, right? I'll even admit this. You want to hear the shitty part about this? Timmy, before he suckered me, the sneaky bastard, he turned his phone on record and put it on the counter and framed it like Stanley Kubrick, right?
Oh,
right?
that's
yeah. I had people coming up to me going, Tommy, I saw that. And everyone was like, Tommy,
come on, man.
Yeah. And everyone was like, Tommy, you did the right thing. You did the right thing. You know what I mean? Just like, honestly, like picture like, you know, you're in the 6th grade.
Did you fall?
No, I was sitting at a table. It was just like, boom, like this. And I hopped right up.
Not like this. Down?
Yeah, because I popped up. I was like, all right, cool. And the crazy part is sitting right next to me. This is what made it more frightening, was a pregnant girl. Which, you know what I mean? Like, and the scream that girl let out was so horrifying, right? And then to add insult to injury.
I can't. I was just going to say something horrific. And I was like, don't do it. It's like, you think that kid was, you know, like.
No. It gets
he
worse.
He was just drunk and meant to hit her?
No, yeah. That
Timmy,
girl.
That's Tommy. I was going for Tina.
I was going for Tina.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? Sadly, and I don't mean to end this story going a wah, wah, wah. Like a year later, that girl, her boyfriend, robs. Kenny, you might have saw this in the news. Her boyfriend robbed some Spanish dope dealer from Lynn. They robbed him, and dude, he came back. He came back and shot everybody in the apartment. Killed the girl who had her kid by then. Killed her. Killed the old guy whose house it was. Yeah. So out of that
Mexican meth.
Damn.
It's that Mexican meth.
That's exactly what it was. And that's why that poor pregnant girl was at that table.
That's
why Timmy was there.
Where's that baby today?
Yo, you need
What's
to
that?
get that baby.
I don't know.
Make it a party. Right? Yo, and give it Big D's spot in the Gutterball crew.
Right. Oh, that kid's got to be about 10 or 11 by now. It's crazy. So here's the crazy part.
Revenge, or their revenge.
The girl's boyfriend, I don't know if I should say this because this kid might want to murder me. The girl's boyfriend, the girl who got killed, was Timmy's cousin. Her boyfriend, the one who robbed the dude. Yeah. So, yeah. Yo, tough year for the Quills, you know?
Yeah. Timmy's karma just raining down on everybody.
Yeah. So every once in a while, you know how, like, Timmy was one of those, like, crazy people that like every once in a while like just look on his Facebook and be like, is he still oh, there it is. Oh, Uncle Timmy, we're gonna miss you. You know, like and even though he sucked me in the head, I wish I could tell you I was like, good, fuck him, but no, I genuinely felt bad when I saw
you deserved it.
Because you guys seem like good guys.
To die?
You deserve to get hit in the fucking head.
Well, I didn't do anything to him. Dude, how many
you tried
to him sneakers?
Yeah, you abandoned
to get my life together, dude. I was sick of staying up for 4 or 5 days at a time.
Buddy,
you know what I mean? Like,
you could have gave him 2 weeks notice. You didn't.
Right?
That.
I fucking.
well, this is what happened. I left. He stuck around with Gay David, and then Gay David was dumb enough to send him on a delivery with like an ounce, and the kid just never came back. So then, yeah. And then when I talked to the gangster dude, I was like, hey, that got nothing to do with me, you know? And he was like, yeah, I just squashed it, you know? So drugs are bad. So, but yeah, that was 10 years ago. And yeah, God rest Timmy's soul and that poor pregnant girl. That,
and you had the nerve to talk shit about Brockton.
Right?
Yeah.
So
oh, dude, I fit right in Brockton. Yeah, South Medford. Right on the Somerville line.
South Medford. You see how he's fucking...
You just described the scene out of
South
a movie.
Medford.
You talking shit about
You ever heard of Winter Hill, the Winter Hill gang?
Yeah,
you know the Winter Hill gang? Yeah, that's where I'm from, like
Whitey,
right near there. That's
Whitey Bulger,
right around the corner. Yeah, Whitey was from South Boston. But, yeah, no, he operated out of there. He was, you know. But the real leader of the Winter Hill gang... Italians and Irish. Italians and Irish. I won't name names, but ironically, the titty bar where Kenny and Big D just had their fight, an Italian gangster from Medford actually shot and killed the manager of that titty bar in 2001. So I think we lost Kenny.
Respect. Yeah, Kenny's no, his phone was running out of storage, so he might have got...
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
Just racks up.
Make me laugh, man.
Yeah, sorry if I made it a little dark right there. I can send news clippings.
Did his phone die, or did Big D just show up and block out the screen?
I know. Maybe Big D came back blasting.
I want to see the video of you eating that shot. That's what we want. We want video to go with the story.
I know. You know what? I asked people about it, and they were like, "Yeah, he probably lost that phone." But yeah, no, I wanted to see it. And nothing to be ashamed of. Here's the thing: is like,
you ate a shot. You didn't go at him.
Yeah.
No, but dude, trust me, don't fight a Timmy. A methed out Timmy. You know what I mean?
You know, like, better, yeah.
It was literally like he was a kid who was from the same area as me, who was like 3 years older than me, maybe like 80 pounds, you know, just like a hard-boiled Irish dude. Like literally, like he modeled for the fighting Irish guy. You know what I mean? He was, he was the real thing. You know, God rest his soul. I feel bad that he's dead. You know, but yeah, man.
We had good times with those gay dudes while it lasted.
Yeah, Gay David. Those dinner parties.
Gay David and all that fucking Mexican super meth.
Oh, the Mexican super meth and booty boys you could handle.
It was a nightmare. It was a nightmare.
I think we found the title of this episode, Gay David and the Mexican super meth.
Yeah.
Right?
Throw out the banana slip and slide. It's meth time.
Right. Oh yeah, dude. Shit. And then all the gay dudes I'd sell the meth to, they'd be like, "You want to hang out and party?" I'm like, "No, I gotta go." You know? But it wasn't like a normal drug deal. Kenny, like you'd show up, they'd have all the money in like a bank envelope with fresh bills. The bills would be lined up. Here you go. I tipped you. Like best people to sell drugs to. You know what I mean? Yeah. Best people. But you had to horrify them. And before I'd front them the drugs, I'd be like, all right, you got to tell me where your mother sleeps. And they'd be like, what, are you going to hurt my mother? I'm like, no, Timmy is. You know, like, just bluffing. But, you know, but that was the power of Timmy. I took him.
Timmy,
it was like walking Timmy's around with a pit bull.
Boy. He's playing Tetris, just looking like a big dope.
Yeah. Oh, and Timmy used to complain.
Whatever I want.
Yeah. Timmy used to get mad.
Kenny looks like the type of guy that's not going to come back. Like he doesn't keep his phone charged. So
I know. But Timmy used to complain. You never let me beat anybody up. I'm like, these people are fine. You know what I mean? You know, like nobody was robbing us or trying to rob. You know what I mean? They were like, they lived in luxury apartments. You know. But it was a fucking nightmare, dude. Nightmare. So, I'd like to write a book about that awful period in my life.
Just that seems like side characters in like a Guy Ritchie movie. You know, you
right,
and
absolutely,
Timmy selling
absolutely,
to gay,
yeah.
Just like out of sync with shots of just me and Timmy in a cab. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, it was fucking scary.
Tommy, listen, you guys really made me laugh this episode. I'm glad we got to hear you.
Hey, thanks for having us.
We hope we can patch things up.
Yeah, we're gonna try and patch it up
man.
a little bit. Let's see, man.
The boxing match would be the most fun if we could get the boxing match
would 100% be hilarious and fun.
Right. I'll be Kenny's manager, hyping him up like wrestling style.
You got manager energy, bro. You just keep that hat.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, I brokered this, you know, like. I was like, fuck that. I'm like, I mean, he's going to listen to this voice message and go, wait to hear this lunatic from Boston. You know what I mean? You guys, you got to have this retard on.
All right.
And I'll be managing Big D.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Tyler.
The villain.
Tyler's heel manager.
Absolutely.
Yeah, dude. All right, dude. You got anything to plug, man? What do you got? We're gonna try and run this episode out real quick because it's making me laugh.
To be honest,
there he is.
I mean, I just started my new. There he is. Turn your camera, Kenny. Your side. There you go.
You fucking got
to plug. I just started a new podcast called Who Did It and Ran. Plug in stand-up shit doesn't mean anything because it'll be all out of sequence. So, however, along with the stand-up thing, I've been making music my whole life. I make white guy hip-hop music. I've been doing it since I was like 16. Anyway, we've got like a 35-year catalog. You can check out my music anywhere where you can get digital music. Google Play, iTunes, Spotify.
Okay, what is the name
hold on, real
of
quick.
it, man? Because what's
Type
the name
4.
of it? Tell the fucking name
Type
of it.
4. Type 4.
Okay.
TYPE, the number 4. And he won't mention it, but Kenny is in a punk
That's
and
the same type
band.
of diabetes Big D has.
Right. Kenny, tell him about Scumbari. Kenny's in a punk and hardcore band. It's kick ass.
It's not hardcore. It's like punk.
Scumbari.
Punk. It's good, dude. It's all right. It's surprisingly good.
It's great.
It's surprisingly good. That's how I describe it.
Are you the lead singer?
Same thing. You can get his music anywhere with that you can get digital music. You can get Scumbari. So check out Scumbari. Check out Type 4.
Before we go though, Kenny, do you know Billy Tardy? Do you know Billy?
I don't think so.
Oh, he's in the hardcore scene. He's from down that way too.
No,
right?
yeah. No, I'm more like punk rock.
Yeah.
Like it's like there is like a like Death Before Dishonor shit like that.
Yeah.
Like I like Blood for Blood and shit, but like Tough Guy Heart. I don't know.
Yeah. A little more. I know.
It's a little gayer. You know what I mean?
I listened to all of that.
Yo, bro.
Yeah, no.
Just the cherry on the Sunday of this episode is you being a white hip hop guy and Kenny being into punk music.
Fucking right, dude. Fucking
just
right.
sums it up so perfectly.
Tommy quit
100%.
the podcast at one time to pursue his fucking rap career at fucking 47.
Whatever,
dude.
buddy.
I'm 51. Get it right.
I think you guys should do a punk white guy hip hop band called.
Well,
Mexican
I want to do a
Superman.
song with them. I want to do a song. Yeah. Call it Sucking Timmy in the Sucker Punch.
The next time we're in Boston, we're going to come hit you guys up and hang out. You really make
Oh,
me laugh,
100%.
Yeah, no, that'd be fucking great, dude. That'd be great.
All right.
But fucking, hey, thanks for fucking letting this happen. You know, Tommy's fucking Tommy, and he's a fucking mental case. You know what I mean? It's fucking, I gotta love him. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Fucking.
Yeah, and maybe we'll do this live in Brockton, baby.
Yeah, fucking get
Fucking
Stevie
right.
done, dude. Let's get some gloves and get D in the ring and shit. Let's do it. Tyler,
Amazing.
John, Todd, thank you guys.
Yeah, thanks. So that was the episode with Kenny Capozzi and Tommy O'Deeds talking about, their side of the whole Big D situation. And
give you a little more context and also, why he was hurt because he was his friend. Although I went back and I listened to that clip of what Big D said, and really
it wasn't that. He didn't call him a bitch. He was like, oh, his voice sounded like a little bitch. You know, like he didn't really say anything to me that was that egregious. I didn't re-listen to that clip before we recorded that episode. I just re-listened to it today. He didn't say anything that was so egregious that to me it justified Kenny running up on him like that. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And also, I spoke with him after that episode because I was like, dude, let me talk to this guy about dropping the charges. You know?
Okay. Yep.
Because we don't want anybody to get fucking. Come on, dude. Like this is not for This is not what this show is at all. We're not people that press charges on fight stories. You fight somebody, you lose, you shake it off. Unless there was something egregious, you know.
If you got hit with weapons and getting multiple people, like you get fucking really
you're getting
hurt.
stomped on and you're fucking paralyzed. But you know. You win one, you lose one, you fight another one, or you don't. But you don't go out and press charges. So I called Big D to be like, yo, dude, what's happening? Like, you know, and he was very funny.
Yeah,
and what
as
Big D
expected.
said, but he also said, no, fuck that. I'm pressing the charges. And here's why. Because he was like, yo, dude, we were at that audition for an hour. I was asking him about his kids. You know, and then we go outside and then he just like balls up and hits me like he was stunned. So like the same way that Kenny felt betrayed from being named on the podcast, Big D also felt angry and betrayed.
Yeah.
And then he went on to say, and then I actually had this recorded, but I can't find the recording. But then he went on to say like, yo, dude, I was on a podcast talking shit. Like we're comedians. We talk shit. He said, do you know how many times we were at a show and I booked this guy on a show and he got fucking crazy drunk and said something nuts and like busted up the show. And now we can't have comedy there anymore. He like basically ruined the venue. And I wanted to punch him in the mouth, but I didn't because he's my friend, you know? So when he starts giving you that context, you're like, I can see why he's so mad. You know?
There's more than just what there's more. There's history behind these actions and these words. So sort of the history of their friendship, those words are just the match that lit the gas. You know what I mean? So it's like there's more leading up to why there's such hurt feelings, I believe.
And maybe there's some other stuff involved. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Big D's like maybe on to bigger and better, and those guys sort of feel snubbed or whatever it is. And you know what I mean? And like you said, those words were just the straw that broke the camel's back, you know?
But if you're Big D and you're at that audition and like you did a podcast, the podcast was recorded so far before it aired. If Big D didn't listen to that, he wouldn't really be thinking, oh, I trashed this guy, or I said something that was like dismissive enough that would like get the guy upset. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So Big D's probably pretty aloof to the context of how Kenny is feeling in that situation.
Yeah, he probably doesn't know any of this shit. So he's
straight
completely blindsided. You know?
Yeah.
So then
all because we're lazy and we took too long to edit the episode.
I know.
We couldn't get our shit together.
I know. And then Big D whips his ass. Yeah. So, which we have video of. So Big D just released this video, which is why we're going to show it. But he just released this video, and he released this video because the charges were dropped. Right?
Yeah, the charges got thrown out. The
charges got
Big D
thrown
didn't
out.
drop the charges. The charges got thrown out.
The charges got thrown out.
Yeah.
Big D whipped his ass. Right.
Big D doesn't get his tooth paid for, though.
Right. Well, that's the other thing. Like he said, like, you know, he jacked up his mouth. Like he's got to go and pay for his mouth. And then he was like, dude, like I got to come out of pocket. And then, but to Kenny's credit, Kenny said, what's he fucking talking about? We're on Mass Health. I was like, listen, Big D, what do we need to do to get this tooth done? He's like, I need a tooth and a vacation. I go, perfect. We'll go to Mexico. You can get a cheap tooth and a hand job, you know, for $1,200. I go, but I want to see the dental records. We're fixing one tooth. And he's like, no, I need to get some dental work. I was like, dude, we're not getting a grill here. He's like, I want a diamond. I need a diamond, John Moses. So this is the video.
Yeah.
That was sent to us immediately after it happened.
Yeah, it was like right after it happened. So when we heard from Kenny and those guys, it wasn't at all that shocking that they wanted to speak about what was going on. It was just like, oh, okay, this is like going on. This is happening right now, you know? So let's do the screen share. So Big D just posted this. And so this is it.
Till summer's over and fucking Halloween start back up, because them costumes is going to be nuts, nigga. Oh, and if niggas was mad about shit I said on podcast, nigga, wait till I say it don't even matter, nigga. I just can't wait till Halloween.
Ready to party like a mogul without the drama? Introducing the Diddy Party attendee costume, now at Spirit Halloween. Slip into your flashy suit and don't forget the NDA, because you never know what freaky festivities might pop off. This costume's got everything you need to survive a night of questionable decisions, champagne showers, and who invited that guy vibes. But don't worry, it's all fun until the tabloids show up. Get yours now. Or at least
So Big D's definitely throwing gas on the fire.
I thought we had the fight. The fight.
We do have the fight somewhere. Hold on, let me just stop.
Oh yeah.
Stop sharing.
Yeah,
there we
go. So Big D is obviously furious, which makes me think maybe he does have some medical bills that he's on the hook for.
Yeah, this is like a Tupac hit him up.
Yeah,
saying it's a Diddy party.
And he took it, and he took the freeze frame from the video. He's all busted up in that freeze frame.
Yeah, let me see if I have the.
All right, let me see what I got.
I should have the video in Instagram. Screen share. Okay, so here's the actual video. It's the aftermath.
This is post-fight. Big D sent us to this.
Yeah.
Probably within minutes.
You a bitch. Fuck that. You a bitch. Don't run up on me like that no more. You a fucking bitch for that. Straight up. You a bitch. Fuck that. You a bitch. Don't run up on me like that no more. You a fucking bitch.
Yeah. So that was the one I thought he shared on his Instagram.
Yeah.
Like
so he shared. Yeah, that was the fight. That was the fight, and then the one that we just played, that was afterwards. So this is he's obviously fuming because the charges were dropped. So now he's not getting his tooth looked after.
Right. It didn't go the way he wanted it.
And we have definitely empathy towards that, because like it sucks having to pay for that type of shit.
We think we've got a way that we can maybe make restitution for Big D, and maybe even get these guys to finally bury whatever it is, bury the hatchet, so to speak, and be buddies again. And this was suggested to both parties. And at least, 4 weeks ago, the last time I spoke with Big D, he was in agreement. He said he would think about it. And then he said, I'd fuck him up. And Kenny said, well, maybe he would, but that's fine. But we're thinking about a boxing match.
The first ever
Fight Stories Live boxing match. The Battle of Brockton. We're going to do it in Brockton, where Kenny's living. If he's from, I don't know what the hell's happening, but it's going to be in Brockton with our boy, the old blue-eyed devil, Steve Dunn,
the Sandman,
Steve Dunn. Well,
special guest referee,
special Fight Stories celebrity guest ref. Steve is already in.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I texted him immediately. He's like, I'm in. So I'm sure that we can get this at a firehouse or outside of the streets or something. But all proceeds will go to a tooth for Demetrius Hullum, a.k.a. Big D. This is what
just
we
the
are.
one tooth. One tooth.
Just the one tooth, dude. Just the one tooth.
If he gets 4 or 5 knocked out in the fight, they don't
At
get
the
fixed.
fight. They don't get fixed. But we'll put some headgear up on you, give you guys mouth guards, so that way Big D can't get another bite out of him. And you guys can go at it and, punch each other around, empty the tanks, and then maybe you guys can, put the shit behind you.
Let us know in the comments, and if you want to see this, if we think that this is the right way to settle the whole situation. I think it's the honorable way. I think it's the safe way. No one's coming back for revenge or whatever.
Right, exactly. You could just you can put it behind.
Yeah,
and
and everyone gets some entertainment, and hopefully we raise some dough for Big D's tooth.
So we should probably start. I don't know how we start fundraising this thing, but we should figure that out.
Yeah, well,
because I bet you if we get to a number, then those guys will be like, all right, I'll do it.
Yeah. Exactly. This is a childish way that we go about our podcast, and I'm here for it.
This is a childish way that we can exploit guys who are fighting. Fights that started on this podcast.
Yeah. All this is because of this podcast. So I think it's very important that this podcast helps correct the situation.
That's right.
If both parties are in agreement to,
we have to mend the tear in space and time that Fight Stories has created. I've said from the jump, the more we do this podcast, the closer I am to getting my ass kicked, because eventually some guy that with some perceived slight or just something is going to come out of the woodwork and take a fucking swing or a swipe, or maybe I'm in the ring fighting somebody. But the more this goes on, the more this type of chaos is going to follow us. So
I'm never fighting again. Touch me and I'll sue.
Not me, baby.
That's such a funny character in the Rocky V movie. The guy's basically Johnny Cochran, or no, not Johnny Cochran. What's his name? The fight promoter, Don King.
Oh yeah.
The Don King character. Touch me and I'll sue.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I think of? I think of Hulk Hogan when those guys. What's the movie? I don't know if it's Mr. Nanny or what, but he bends the wrought iron bar into like a bunny, and he's like, "Touch me, I'll call my lawyer."
Yeah.
Like the 3 truckers that are like, he's like, "What are you gonna do?" He's like, "What am I gonna do? I'm gonna call my lawyer."
Yeah. So funny.
All right. Well, listen. That's
the episode. I mean,
that's the episode.
It's still up in the air what's going to happen here, but I mean,
maybe nothing else happens, and it just dies down, and eventually those guys can be in the same room again. But
it sucks because Boston's a small comedy scene, and these guys are both working comics, so it's definitely affecting the vibe of the workspace. Like, when they might be on the same show and shit. So,
well, yeah, they went to go do the comedy festival together, you know what I mean? And then Kenny said all of a sudden Big D wasn't on the show. So
yeah. So I mean, you hope that it gets worked out. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. As always, follow us on all the social media platforms. You can subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Leave us a 5-star on Apple Pod. Nothing less than 5, you little pussies.
Yeah, please.
And drop us a comment. Drop us a comment. It helps, with the algorithm, all that. And YouTube, hit subscribe, hit the bell for notification when the new episodes are coming out. And of course, join the Patreon, patreon.com/Fight Stories. Fight Stories, we're gonna have bonus episodes, extra content, all that stuff.
Yeah, we've
got you guys to enjoy.
We've probably got 5 bonus episodes in the chamber now, ready to go.
Yeah, so it's all I've been updating been updating everything. It's gonna and you know what? Patreon's gotten a lot better, and just as a platform, because I can like categorize all the clips. Like you can create collections, so I can have like collections of like all hockey fighters or all boxers, all comedian episodes, and you can do it full episodes or clips, and you can organize it that way. So it's your one-stop shop for everything fight stories. You can go in there and go on a binge. There's just so much right now that we've had so many people already, and it's just growing. And we want to thank everyone for supporting. You guys are awesome. This is the podcast of the people, man. This is about you guys.
Yeah. So much so that if you've got a fight story, you want to hear it. Or if you've got somebody who you think should be on the podcast, tell them to tell us, because we want to hear more from you guys. We want to hear your one-offs. We want to hear your Father's Day fights, Christmas Day fights, work fights, catch somebody sleeping with your wife fights. We want to hear all the fights.
Bullies getting taken down.
Oh, bullies getting taken down is a good one.
Bullies getting taken down. Love a good story like that. And
but if you were a bully for a little while, we understand.
Yeah, if you're a bully and you put some kids in the locker, we like hearing about that too. Coward stories. We love
now
cowardice.
Your shift supervisor. Yeah, now they're the principal at the high school you teach gym at.
So like all these themes, we want to explore them, and we want you guys to be part of it. Like the Fight Stories family, the community, you guys are part of it, and keep sharing the stuff and commenting.
We want to come to your tough towns. We want to know what the toughest town in America is. We want to know, the tough bars. We want to do live episodes from tough bars.
Hell yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right. Well, I think that's been the episode. And again, thank you everyone for checking in. That's been Fight Stories. I'm Tyler Morrison. This is John Moses. Follow us on all the socials. Don't get it twisted. The Sunshine Boys are fucking going to be taking scalps.
We're back, baby. Brighter than ever.